Hey everyone, Genome here. Come at you with my a little bit late cover of the week entry. Sorry about that. I was busy doing other projects, but you know how that goes with me. Never can't seem to focus too well. So this week I'm taking a look back at one of my favorite runs from my favorite character, actually, and it's the Punisher. And a lot of times there was very little congruity, I guess you would say, with the with the Punisher covers. I mean, it was kind of a revolving door of artists a lot of times. Uh, Most of them weren't bad. It seemed like there was a lot of turnover in that department. It was a little more stable on the War Journal side, but the regular series, sometimes. But there was a lot of really classic, iconic covers too from the Volume Two series. So, who am I to argue? But anyway, this was a seven-part little story arc that was going on called The Final Days. It's one of my favorite Punisher stories of all time, if not favorite. Love it, love it, love it. I'll have to do a video on that one day. It encompasses, like I said, 7 books, and each of these books I awaited with slimy, wet little hands because I was just so excited, sweating with joy, Couldn't wait for the next one to come out. But let's enough about the actual story. Let's talk about the cover. So I picked Punisher number 59, the Requiem cover. Basically, this is a portent of what goes on in this book, but that's not really why I picked this. I would have liked this cover irregardless of if I like the the story inside or not. Once again, I should probably pull this out of the. Let me pull this out of the poly here. Get a little less shine, but it's simply an incredible cover. This is actually Mark Texeira and Jimmy Palmiotti. Texeira did some different stuff for Punisher. Some of them I cared for, some I didn't care for. This is the ones I obviously cared for. For one thing, the color scheme is wacky, man. You don't expect to see pink in the background of the Punisher too much, but it's an awesome choice. It really makes everything pop. These hands are drawn expertly. The scalpel looks good, and you're like, just walking by this cover, you're like, what in the hell happened to the Punisher? There's blood all over his face. Looks like one of his eyes, you can almost see it, is swollen shut. And there's someone reaching over him, looks like with feminine hands, with a scalpel getting ready to start cutting into the guy. It's like, oh man, is he dying? What's going on? Does he need brain surgery? Did he lose an eye? You don't really know. If you look really close, you can kind of tell he's cut up, and that's from earlier in the story. But it looks almost like blood rivulets. It's kind of hard to tell there, and like it's pulled up in his ear over here and all. But I don't know, just so incredible. There's something so. This is one of the reasons I like the Punisher. But even with the Punisher, almost every cover you see of him, he's in a dominant position. He's usually not. At worst, he's on the defensive. In this one, he's completely helpless. So that kind of goes against the grain for a lot of heroes, especially someone like the Punisher. Who, if he ever has a moment of weakness like that when he's unconscious, he's just dead. His enemies don't have scruples or morals, and they'll just kill him. So it's really weird to see Frank in such a compromised position. But the cover is just so good. There's a lot of really cool ideas for the covers in that series, but most of them didn't turn out too well. Honestly, I didn't like them too much. I liked them more when I was younger than I do now. But this one is easily the best of that little story arc, and one of the better Punisher ones overall. Once again, you wouldn't expect someone who leans so heavily towards the blacks and the whites, as far as color scheme goes, to have a pink background that makes it look good. It doesn't look corny. It's like you might think, okay, maybe that's a operating room light or something behind him. Maybe he's getting operated on under red light conditions, like it's like in a battle zone or something. It's hard to tell. But I know just. This cover grabs you. This cover makes you want to pick up the book and see what is going on in there. I don't know. And then, of course, they got the Final Days up here in the banner. So, I mean, who could say no to that? And it was a big, pretty all-encompassing story arc for quite a while that had spillover past the arc's closure. Once again, I'm sorry about this stupid spot on my nose. I had visited the dermatologist last week, and it's still not gone away, so apologize for that grossness, but I'm going to try to hide it with the mic. But yeah, that's my cover of the week. Punisher number 59. Once again, Texeira and Palmiotti, just a great duo there, and just an awesome cover. I'll make sure not to try to get into too many Punisher covers because you know how much I like, especially the War Journal runs of stuff. But yeah, I thought this cover bore mentioning, and I hope that y'all agree and enjoy. So stay tuned for the next one of these coming up, probably the next week or so, and I need to try to do a movie review this week, but I don't think it's going to be tonight. So anyway, until next time, this is Genome, loving him some old school Punisher, out.